Well, I'm from India. Most people think I'm a dude, but until I speak, so it's not a problem. But the idea of coming from India has a lot of advantages as well as disadvantages, you know. So I came as a mechanical and a civil engineer with an experience from the Corps of Engineers as a captain from the Indian Army. So my whole idea when I came here was the idea of a freedom and a place where I can do what I feel like and want to do. So the first thing I did was to get out of my engineering, and I'm both civil and a mechanical engineer. And I wanted to explore what I can do. I became an entrepreneur. I think the best decision I ever made. And I have been in construction, development, mortgage banking, and in the first 5 years of coming to this country, I was surprised that you could become a millionaire that quick here. That is an awesome country. I think I owe a lot to America for those who built it in a way that it is free. And it is the same idea. It's working in India as a lab. The capitalism has produced 350 million middle class, which 35 years ago didn't exist. So there is a lot of bad rap for capitalism. Before you get too high on it, go to India and see in 35 years what capitalism has done to 385, 50 million people. And then you will have a rethink the idea that it is, even though there are bad people who use capitalism for bad reasons, it never can screw it up for the average. Because ultimately the system works to purge the crooks out of the system, and eventually people get it. There are crooks in any system, but the only difference with other kind of a totalitarian system is when you find the crook, they don't leave. It's very difficult to get them out. So I like this idea of exporting freedom, and America had contributed to who I have become, even though I believed that God was the reason why we all have freedom. You know, even the American idea is that. So I explored. I never thought being an engineer could be a mortgage banker funding $5 billion a year was that easy in this country. All it needed was a little bit innovation and a little bit of belief in you to see that anything you want to do, you can. And having achieved that, many areas, and my goal was to be free. So I worked 2 days a week since 32 and did the rest as to what I wanted to do. To be, basically, do things that improves kids. So right now, I'm on a mission to educate 300 million kids in India, thanks to capitalism. And nobody ever told me I have to go and help them. But this is my own cognitive reality that I want to do it by choice. Not because I'm a billionaire, but I have much greater value called the brain that can find solution to educate them. Because once they're educated, they are free. And once they are free, a lot of people can misuse them or abuse them. And that is the idea. Very simple concept, but the numbers are big, right? It takes a huge amount of contribution to make that work. I never thought I would sit in a room with such accomplished people and talk to them about educating 300 million kids. You guys know what it takes to run basic macro level and micro level of businesses, and that I'm out of my mind to be talking about educating that many kids. And I'm okay with that, because that's the reality way of thinking. But the key is that because of where I have been and where I've come, 2006, I started developing a concept of education which can help people to be free rather than to be slaves of people teaching them ideas, how it is, as opposed to how it could be. So I am launching a school, K through 12, based on a system of freedom. How do you develop people a responsible freedom of choice, as opposed to freedom to do whatever you want without responsibility, which is anarchy. And so, to that system of education, I am dedicated, because the system has to be proven here before I take to India. The greatest justice of humanity is in the 6 inches between the ears when God created them. So that it is not, the poor are not poor because of the rich. They're poor because they don't know how to think to get out of it.
Yep.
And that justice is in them before they were born. Only if we can tell them that that is there, it'll be fine. I bought a car recently. It's an interesting story. And it is a Prius with a plug-in, right? So the guy said, do you want a security on? I said, how long will it take to install this? I'm still thinking old-fashioned. And the guy said, doesn't take much at all. By the time you sign this contract, you will have the security system and you can drive off. I said, really? How much does it cost? $1,200. I said, really? And so I said, fine, I need a security system. Paid $1,200, and I came and drove the car. And then I did research. I said, how does this work? What do they do to create a security system? Do you know that every car comes with one? And it is a small chip that goes under the thing that they remove it and replace it, and that's it, $1,200. That is called less than a percentile shift in people's mind can create a security system for their life. That's what I teach. And I do that for adults, and I call it coaching. And that's how I met this guy. So that little shift can transform people's perspective and their success proportions to limitless potential, and their true original potential as well. And also personal confidence. Success breeds confidence. But before success comes, you need to have confidence to breed success. People give you things because you are confident already. It is not that things come and the confidence follow later. So that's what we do. We help people to be confident to achieving things. And what if we can do that to a kid? And what if we can do it to a kid in the ghetto? The innovation for saving a whole nation depends on that. It is not on the rich and not on the poor. It is on the people who have no access to survival. Survival is the mother of invention. And we kill them by giving them basic survival needs, instead of letting survival breed prosperity beyond the measure of survival.
Quite a motivator.
Not just for themselves, but for the whole nation and the world. And that is a very difficult sale in a marketplace we live in, particularly political climate. But regardless, that's what I do. I'm here to be a part of what innovation is taking place, and that's a breeding place for what I do. And I think, Bob, you have done a phenomenal job, from what I heard, being a leader in that field of innovation. And Jack is one of them that I know. And I am one of them in different fields, like education at this time.